Welcome to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're plunging into a market that, well, it might sound a bit niche at first glance, but it actually holds some really fundamental insights into global economic shifts. We're talking about the advanced ceramics and nanoceramic powders market.
Right. And this is all based on that detailed analysis from cognitive market research.
Exactly. The report titled Advanced Ceramics and Nanoceramic Powders Market Analysis, Global Growth Trajectories.
Got it.
And just so you know, when we say advanced ceramics, we're not talking about everyday pottery or anything like that.
No, definitely not.
These are super engineered materials. Think incredibly hard, highly heat resistant, maybe electrically insulating.
Critical stuff. Used in aerospace, defense, microelectronics, biomedicine, really cutting-edge industries.
Precisely. Okay, let's get to the numbers, because they're quite something. In 2021, the market pulled in $19.1 billion in sales revenue.
Okay, solid base.
Then, fast forward just to 2025, it's projected to climb to $25.9 billion.
A decent jump.
But the longer-term view, out to 2033, we're looking at it nearly doubling. The projection is $47.5 billion.
Wow.
Which works out to an overall compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of 7.9% for the whole market.
You know, what's fascinating there is just how quickly these, foundational material markets can expand. 7.9% isn't trivial for materials.
Right.
It really makes you ask, what's driving that? Is it specific tech demands, like advanced semiconductors maybe, or next-gen EV parts, medical breakthroughs?
Good question. That's what we want to unpack.
Yeah, this report should give us some clues.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's unpack this and see where the growth is really happening around the globe. Maybe start with North America.
Makes sense?
All right.
Yeah.
North America contributed $5.5 billion back in 2021.
Okay.
That's expected to climb to $7.4 billion by 2025. And then the 2033 projection is $13.1 billion.
So still significant growth there.
Yeah, the growth rate overall for North America is 7.3%. Now, breaking that down, the U.S. leads, obviously, in terms of size. It goes from $4.38 billion in 21 to over $10.2 billion by 33. That's a CAGR of 7.1%.
Steady, large base.
But here's something interesting. Canada actually shows stronger momentum.
Oh.
It expands from $698 million in 2021 to nearly $1.8 billion by 2033. So that's an 8.4% CEGR.
Oh, okay. Noticeably higher than the U.S. rate.
Right. And Mexico is also making a significant contribution, growing from $438 million to $1.1 billion, a 7.8% growth rate. So yeah, that Canadian acceleration. Any thoughts on what might be behind that?
Well, it's a great observation. The U.S., with its large volume and 7.1% growth, likely reflects ongoing needs in established sectors, right? Aerospace, defense, maybe even advanced construction uses.
Sure.
Canada's faster rate, that 8.4%. It could signal more targeted investment, maybe in emerging green tech. Battery components, fuel cells perhaps.
That's plausible.
Or just a rapidly expanding R&D sector pushing new uses for these materials. It suggests maybe a slightly different phase of market development compared to the U.S.
Interesting point. Okay, let's move across the Atlantic. Europe.
Right.
Market value there was $3.57 billion in 2021.
Okay.
Projected to reach $8.4 billion by 2033. That's growing at 7.2% annually. Pretty consistent with North America overall.
Very similar, yeah.
Looking at specific countries, the UK grows steadily, $432 million, up to $944 million. Germany, $554 million, expanding to $1.24 billion.
Solid growth in the major economies.
Yeah, but France actually stands out a bit, shows faster growth. Climbs from $465 million to $1.17 billion. That reflects an 8% CAGR.
Okay, so France is a bit ahead of the regional average, like Canada was in North America.
Exactly. Italy, Russia, Spain, also showing steady expansion, the report notes. But here's another interesting detail, similar to Canada.
What's that?
The rest of Europe category. It actually achieves the strongest growth within the region.
Really?
Yeah, rising from $872 million to over $2.3 billion. That's an 8.7% CAGR.
Huh. Rest of Europe outpacing the big names. That is intriguing. What could be driving that?
Any ideas?
Well, Europe's overall contribution, it's clearly consistent, solidifies its role as a key player. The steady growth across the board points to robust, diversified industrial bases.
Right, integrated into manufacturing.
Exactly. Automotive, industrial machinery, maybe specialized medical devices. But that acceleration in France, and especially rest of Europe, It could be maybe targeted investments in high-tech niches.
Or maybe new clusters.
Or even growth of new market clusters, possibly in, say, Eastern Europe, leveraging these advanced materials to modernize their industries.
Makes sense. Okay, now let's shift gears. We need to talk about the region the analysis calls the fastest growing hub globally.
Ah, Asia Pacific.
You got it,
Yeah.
Asia Pacific, valued at $7.6 billion back in 2021.
Already the biggest region, though.
Right. And it's projected to blow past $19.5 billion by 2033,
Wow, that's huge.
with an impressive 8.3% CAGR overall for the region.
Okay, so higher than North America and Europe.
Definitely. Key players. China grows from $2.3 billion to $5.76 billion. Japan expands from $1.49 billion to $3.7 billion.
Major contributors, as you'd expect.
Look at India. It's showing really remarkable growth. Rises from $1.1 billion in 21 to over $3 billion by 33.
Okay, what's the rate there?
A robust 9.1% CAGR, really highlighting its increasing importance.
Yeah, that's significant. A major player emerging.
And I see other strong performers too. Singapore, nearly 9% growth. Southeast Asia as a whole, 8.7%.
So broad strength across the region.
Very broad. But guess what leads the pack within APAC?
Let me guess. Rest of APAC.
Bingo. Rest of APAC leads with an outstanding 10.3% CAGR. It more than triples in size by 2033.
10.3%. That's massive. So India's surge is big, but rest of APAC is even faster. What's going on there?
Any thoughts on the specific factors?
Well, the scale and the sheer speed in Asia Pacific are quite something. If you connect it to the bigger picture, it's not just rapid industrialization anymore, is it?
No, it feels like more than that.
It's the embrace of advanced manufacturing, high technology adoption across incredibly diverse economies. India's 9.1%, for instance, likely fueled by booming electronics manufacturing, automotive, maybe increased defense spending.
All big users of these materials.
Absolutely. And that incredible rest of APAC growth, over 10%.
Yep.
You have to think about countries like, say, South Korea or Taiwan.
Ah, the semiconductor giant.
Exactly. Powerhouses in semiconductors, display technology, nanoceramic powders are critical there. It really positions the whole region as a global leader in applying material science.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to South America.
Right. Smaller base, presumably.
Smaller base, yes. Grows from $1.3 billion in 2021 to $3.56 billion by 2033. Still, that's a strong CAGR, 8.8%.
Higher than Asia Pacific overall, actually.
It is. Brazil leads the way in volume, expanding from $404 million to $1.06 billion.
Okay.
But what's really catching my eye here is Argentina,
Argentina.
showing exceptional growth. Revenue nearly triples, from $174 million to $493 million. That's a 9.3% CAGR.
9.3% for Argentina. That's, wow, quite a leap for that region.
Isn't it? And just like we saw elsewhere, the rest of South America category also shows real strength,
Yeah.
nearly tripling its market size as well. But Argentina's specific surge, what could be driving that?
Yeah, that region starting smaller but showing a very strong growth. That 8.8% overall is impressive. Argentina's surge, though, nearly tripling.
That's fascinating. It points to something quite specific, doesn't it?
Seems like it.
Highly localized industrial or tech developments, maybe, perhaps tied to lithium extraction and the battery manufacturing sector that's growing there.
Could be. That needs these materials.
Or maybe even a developing aerospace or defense sector. And the growth in rest of South America points to wider regional industrialization, modernization efforts.
Okay. Let's move on to the Middle East.
Right.
Revenue here grows from $688 million in 2021 to $1.47 billion by 2033. The CAGR is 6.3%.
Okay, so a bit lower growth compared to the other regions we've discussed. Yeah, comparatively lower, but still growth. Digging in, Saudi Arabia rises from $249 million to $520 million. The UAE grows from $66 million to $156 million. That's a healthy 7.5% CGR for the UAE specifically.
So consistent growth, but maybe not the explosive rates elsewhere. What does that pattern suggest about the Middle East market dynamics?
What's your take?
Well, this pattern, consistent but more modest growth, it often indicates perhaps more targeted investments rather than broad-based industrial expansion using these materials.
Focused demand.
Yeah, maybe demand from sectors like oil and gas processing. They need durable, heat-resistant stuff. Or perhaps defense and security applications, which are significant there.
Right.
It suggests a more concentrated use of these materials within certain strategic industries rather than that widespread industrial boom we see in, say, Asia Pacific.
Got it. Okay, finally, Let's talk about Africa.
Ah, yes. How does it stack up?
It truly stands out. The analysis calls it the fastest growing region globally.
The fastest? Wow, okay.
Starting small, just $401 million in 2021. But it surges to $1.39 billion by 2033.
Okay, what's the CAGR?
An extraordinary 11.5% CAGR.
11.5 across the continent.
Across the continent, yeah.
Oh.
Within Africa, Nigeria grows more than threefold, $83 million to $279 million.
Strong growth there.
South Africa also expanding significantly,
Mhm.
from $136 million to $457 million.
Here.
But guess which part grows fastest within Africa?
Uh-oh. Is it rest of Africa?
You know the pattern. Rest of Africa grows the fastest, almost quadrupling from $182 million to $652 million. The KGR there is nearing 12%.
Almost 12%. That's incredible. An 11.5% CAGR for the whole continent, especially from a smaller base. What does that imply? And what industries could possibly be driving that kind of trajectory?
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's incredibly significant. That trajectory, especially from the lower starting point, points to a rapid build-out, new infrastructure, manufacturing capabilities, technology adoption happening across the continent.
So what kind of demand?
We're likely seeing demand driven by, well, major investments maybe in renewable energy grids, advanced construction. Even the digital economy needs durable components.
True.
And that rest of Africa, leading with nearly 12%, suggests it's widespread distributed growth, not just one or two dominant nations.
Multiple smaller projects are hubs.
Exactly. It really positions the region to become an increasingly important player in the global market dynamics for these critical materials going forward.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Yeah.
I think our deep dive shows a really clear picture.
Yeah, definitely.
This advanced ceramics and nanoceramic powders market. It's on a seriously rapid growth path.
No question.
We've seen Asia, Pacific, and Africa really emerging as the powerhouse engines of expansion, driven by specific industrial and tech advances.
While North America and Europe keep that steady, significant momentum, still huge parts of the market.
Absolutely, maintaining massive contributions to the overall size.
You know, this whole deep dive, it really highlights an important question, doesn't it? Just how many vital advancements are sort of quietly happening behind the scenes, powered by materials and industries we rarely even think about.
Good point.
This explosive growth in advanced ceramics. It isn't just about the numbers on a page. It's like a silent signal, isn't it, about the future of everything from next-gen EVs and better aircraft
to life-saving medical implants.
to more efficient energy. It really makes you wonder, what other foundational technologies out there are seeing this kind of explosive yet maybe unnoticed growth, and what kind of world are they quietly building all around us?